Lovely, 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 lovely people. A pleasant evening to everybody. Now, beautiful people, I was listening to former mayor, former Kingston mayor, Desmond McKenzie. He was being interviewed by the Wolfman, Wolf something or other. Forgive me, I should have looked up his name. The one of the news reporters at CNN news network there. And basically, asking very salient questions, in terms of, the estimate, not necessarily estimating the cost of the damage, but how long he thinks the damage, will take to be, to be repaired in terms of the whole, just getting things back to some semblance of normalcy. And in terms of, maybe when the airport will be opened to facilitate aids, in terms of food items, clothing, and whatever it is that, they will allow before they open up to commercial flights and so on. And if there are any loss of lives, he said he heard that 3 lives were lost. And, if there is any more that he has heard of, and he couldn't answer. A fair answer, he said, well, we have not fully, because the Prime Minister, which I have to congratulate him on. Somebody was speaking with me and they said they saw a video of him having a conversation with the the opposition leader, Mark Golding, to talk about whatever plans in terms of dealing with the aftermath, regarding the hurricane, and I've seen the Prime Minister, boy, it's like he's on the campaign trail in a sense. He has been going around the different affected areas such as St. Elizabeth, Black River being a part of St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, St. James. I'm not sure if he has been to St. Anne or St. Thomas as yet. I haven't heard anything about Portland and so on. But we know the West has got the blows. It is unbelievable. And when, Minister McKenzie handled himself quite well with the Wolfman there. I'm sorry to be calling him the Wolfman. I know it's Wolf something or other is his name. And, and he was saying, the Wolfman was saying that President Donald Trump, will be providing aid. And because I heard when Minister McKenzie said, wow, he's grateful to President Donald Trump for going to be providing aid to help, for relief, during this difficult time, and I can't help but to reminisce or to think on when the CEO for JPS was asked the question, is it that bad? And he said, yes, it is that bad. He couldn't even hide it. It couldn't be inconspicuous. He had to be conspicuous with the information, because that's the only way to really deal with the effects of what Hurricane Melissa has done to the western end of our island and so on. And, I am very, very grateful. I know some people may not like the president, for his radical ways and moves and whatnot. And some may believe different things where he's concerned. But this is a time of crisis. And I'm hoping that people will put aside their differences, their political alliances, and understand that we need help. Because above all else, we're humans first. And we really have God and each other. So I am very, very grateful to know that the President Donald Trump, will be helping us. I am so, so, so grateful to him for that. I'm grateful to God as well, And, when I think of how Jamaica is so loved and known, it is amazing because, when you go on certain platforms and you see them say, pray for Jamaica, help Jamaica, and you see the different aids coming in, or, I saw something where it says 21 million pounds from the UK to come to help us. And I'm like, wow, and when the Minister of Transport, Darrell Vass, said, they will be opening up the airport, Norman Manley Airport, that is, so that they can allow relief items to come in. I said, wow, how amazing. you know, it's going to be very difficult because when I saw the devastation, you know, you wonder, oh gosh, how these people are really going to really benefit from the relief items, because I'm sure that some of them have to stay with, if they have family in different parishes that are not affected and can accommodate them, would accommodate them. Additionally, you know, when you're staying at probably shelters that may not necessarily be so wholesome and in a good condition and all of that, it can be very difficult. Just the whole thing is just a serious diatribe, because they're not in their own place of abode. It's going to be very, very hard, you know, because they're going to now have to, you know, slowly buy back different things. You know, when you see the houses that are washed away, when you see the water come right up to the roof, every equipment, every clothing, every shoe, everything gone. But, you know, we're just grateful to God that, we're just grateful to God that the President Donald Trump, you know, will be helping us. That's so good. That you know, and I'm glad, you know, that we seem to be, for now, putting our differences aside. Sometimes I'm hearing people still quarreling and grumbling and complaining and cursing the Prime Minister at this very serious time, when they could use that very same energy to see how best they can help the disenfranchised, the destitute, the pauperized, the poor, those who may not be pauper but they were just affected and they need help, you know, for the moment. You know, it is very sad that we still politicize every single thing, instead of saying, all right, let us put our differences aside for a moment. Because perhaps I think people probably need to take a day, if they can, and if they are able to, depending on the kind of vehicle that you have, and get an opportunity to drive to the western side to see the condition. Because then is when we will say, you know what, we need to learn how to compartmentalize and learn how to put our differences aside. It is sad when I come across posts and people, you know, just being, giving off their different rancor and acrimonious comments where the Prime Minister and so on is concerned. Not at a time like this. Put your differences and your feelings aside. The people of Jamaica, especially that side, need our help in any way, in any shape, in any form that we can do that. Why not just turn that energy, instead of quarreling and complaining and so on where the Prime Minister is concerned? Say to yourself, let me see how I can help other people. We cannot continue to live like that. It is quite disheartening. It means that not even when a serious hurricane comes, even when lives are at stake, you guys just sit and just hold on to bitterness, to resentment, to anger, to hate. I have to give kudos to the Prime Minister for going. It's like he's on a campaign trail. He has gone to all, as if I'm not mistaken, if not all, at least 80 to 90% of the affected parishes and zones. You know, to see the damage, to see what it is that they are going to do. They're getting aid, financial aid, and in terms of, you know, cash and kind. You know, and we can only hope and pray that it will be done in a right way, in a just way, in a fair way, where the people are assisted comprehensively. It's going to take time though, guys. So I'm saying, instead of just bickering, just put your differences aside for now. You can put a pause on it and say, let us see how we can help you. Sow the seeds of goodness and righteousness in your own way. Afterwards, if it gives you kicks and so on and you want to do that, then fine. But in the meantime, in this serious time, you really should not be politicizing this serious thing and quarreling and complaining and just criticizing everything the Prime Minister does. He's trying, he's doing his best. Doesn't matter what you feel, and the reality is that the people need help. Join hands and hearts for the moment to help the people of Jamaica and stop the nonsense. I don't know. Bitterness seems to be the order of the day. It's just a sad state of affairs. You know, again, I'm grateful to President Donald Trump, the Prime Minister, and other people for helping us. And I know that the people of Jamaica will be assisted. Anyway, guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe, give me one